What's up, my nigga?
What did you just say?
What's up, my nigga?
Rush Hour is one of the best comedy movies of all time. The whole trilogy. They're actually in my top 5 movies. I don't know which order, but I do know it's probably Rush Hour trilogy and The Grown Ups, and then maybe some other movies, but it's definitely top 5. I know that for sure. What made Rush Hour, the whole trilogy, what it is because it had no filter. It had no audience telling it what is bad and what is good. It just did what it thought was good and it worked. And Rush Hour, main source of comedy is based on the different race that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan are. That's the whole movie trilogy, is them going back and forth about race. It's not like they're hating each other, but
Start shooting, white people ain't that cool. They either running around, hiding behind tables, or screaming like, ah!
You sound like that all the time.
Let me tell you something about black people. When stuff goes down, we keep our cool.
Maybe, but not like Asians. We never panic.
Yeah, right. When Godzilla's coming, y'all be tripping. I seen the movie. You be Gayaka, Gayaka,
Carter.
yelling everywhere. I seen China.
there's a lot of racial jokes in the movies, which are great because they're funny. They make us laugh. The Rush Hours dropped at the right time. I don't think if Rush Hours dropped today, they would do just as well as ever. You can't have Jackie Chan on screen saying the N-word in 2023. It's not possible. It's just never gonna happen. Jackie Chan where he's in the what's it called, massage parlor, and he says you all look alike, or when he's picking out women from the stands. That stuff wouldn't fly nowadays, even though back then we enjoyed it because there was nobody saying this is wrong or this is bad because it was funny. They made it funny, which is, I think comedy can be as dark or as racial or anything as it want to be as long as it makes me laugh. That's my type of comedy. If you make me laugh, I let it slide. And there might be people who just be like, well, why doesn't Rush Hour just make its comedy not racial? That's the whole point of the trilogy. The whole point of the trilogy, from the first movie to the third movie, is about a black cop and an Asian cop working together in their differences in cultures and their differences in fight styling and just looks all around. That's the main base of their jokes. And the rest of the jokes are probably about women, which is, they were funny too. They were never offensive to people because we laughed. And the problem with releasing a Rush Hour 4 is that everyone wants to be a hero when there's no one to save. For instance, let me just think of a scene off my head. Let's say there's a girl who tries to fight Chris Tucker or Jackie Chan and they slap her and they're like, you're a woman. A woman or a man, you can catch these hands equally. I don't think that would fly nowadays because just the way the world is set up, because women would feel some type of way. Women would be like, so are we just weak? Is it just okay to women? When back in the 2000s, that would just make everybody laugh because it would be funny the way Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan probably pull it off. We lost the way to just be quiet and enjoy something that actually is enjoyable. People nowadays, even if they enjoy something, they still have to be a hero. People can laugh at a joke and then be like, and then snap out of it and be like, okay, the joke was funny, but there was no reason for you to say that joke. The joke was funny, but it still hurt people. Every joke is going to make someone offensive, no matter what the joke is. And Rush Hour, they didn't care. They didn't care for the people who was going to get their feelings hurt because they knew majority of the people were going to laugh, which is always okay. If you go back and watch the movie or even watch little clips of it, there's so many times where you're just watching and you're like, oh, they really said that. And that's not saying that you think it's bad. That's saying they said that because of the way people act around jokes like that. When they're looking at a woman through a telescope, I don't even think that would fly. That's something I think is very tame. When they're looking at a telescope and Jackie Chan's like, oh, nothing, Chris Tucker's laying down on the bed. That's a very tame scene to me. I don't think people would look at that, or I would hope people look at that and be like, this is so wrong. This just dehumanizes women. But I can also see women saying that it does dehumanize them. And why isn't it a man they're staring at? I just feel like if Rush Hour 4 was ever going to happen, which it seems like a huge likelihood, to be completely honest, it's a nice cash grab, and it's not a cash grab that feels like they're just milking it because everyone wants a Rush Hour 4, and I think it could work. It's not like Pirates Caribbean if they brought that back, or it's not like The Walking Dead, or shows that people are just like, it should have ended a long time ago, or Grey's Anatomy. This is a movie where it's like people will enjoy it. The people that make it will get enough money, and it will probably make a fourth movie, and it will not be a cash grab. It could definitely happen on the good side. But if Rush Hour 4 does need to happen, it needs to be Rush Hour 4 and not Rush Hour 4 made for 2023 audience. That's the huge problem I got with it. Don't try to make it for 2023 audience. Make it for the Rush Hour fans that watch your previous movies. I want people who worked on the Rush Hours to come back and not have new people who's worked on other things and try to race swap people or try to push a message that doesn't need to happen. It needs to be funny, entertaining, cool fight scenes, some humorous jokes, some offensive jokes that are actually funny because they pull them off well. That's the main thing that ran Rush Hour trilogy is offensive jokes. Offensive jokes made Rush Hour trilogy. You know, from the first movie, he says, "Do you understand the words that are coming from my mouth?" And it was funny because Chris Tucker is funny and Jackie Chan played it very well. Well, this is probably not gonna be that long a video because there's not that much really to talk about. I think I got my point across. The point is, if you make a Rush Hour, make it Rush Hour 4, not make it Rush Hour 4 at 2023 version. But like, subscribe, and thank you for everything. Peace.